Here we go. 1 foot. Okay, okay. Second foot. Oh my god. That's cold. Okay. Going in. That's cold. That's cold. Cold therapy is pretty popular right now, but it's been around for quite a long time, dating back as far as 3500 BCE, but greatly popularized by the Romans, requiring their soldiers to partake after noticing less sick days and injuries. You might be surprised to know just how many famous figures in history swore by some type of cold therapy. Gandhi utilizing cold showers to reduce desire, Charles Darwin dumping ice cold water to fix a lifelong illness no doctor was able to treat, Henry David Thoreau jumping in Walden Pond to treat his depression, and the list goes on. Even fictional characters such as James Bond would sit in cold water for a few minutes at the end of his shower. But in recent times, with science to back it up, cold therapy has been shown to increase metabolism, reduce inflammation, improve circulation, allow for deeper sleep, ease sore muscles, and train you to handle stressful situations quite well. A simple Google search will provide a near endless list of benefits, which makes sense to why everyone from pro athletes to celebrities take part. The most famous of which is without a doubt the Dutch athlete Wim Hof, also known as the Iceman. He holds a world record for being submerged in ice for almost 2 hours with his core body temperature changing, summited Mount Kilimanjaro in a pair of shorts, and holds the longest distance swim under ice. It's also energizing, antidepressive, and releases a raw animalistic urge inside of you. Now, I've been doing cold exposure training for the past 3 years. Taking cold showers my sophomore year in college, and I stuck with them after noticing tremendous benefits. Also that guide to bring it up at every social event where I met new people, but eventually I got over that. In reality, cold showers were so beneficial to me that I wanted to see what else is out there, step it up a notch, do something wild, and start 2022 with ice baths. And instead of me sitting here telling you guys what that's been like and all the experience and benefits, let's take one together. Here we are, guys, outside of Target with about 50 pounds of ice. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon. I just got back from a workout and I've been dreading this day for a long time. Usually once Tuesday rolls around, I'm already thinking about how painful Sunday's weekly ice bath will be. And just holding the ice in your hands and feeling how cold it is when you walk out of the store is a pretty good reminder of why. All right, guys, so here we are in the bathroom. We got the ice right here. I covered up the drain for the tub. I'm gonna go ahead and let the tap run to fill up the bathtub. While that runs, I'll talk to you guys about why I'm doing this. It comes down to 2 reasons. Firstly, all the benefits that I touched on earlier, sleep, muscle recovery, metabolism, better circulation, these all pretty much boil down to changing the way blood and fluids flow through your body, which increases your recovery. And that affects everything from your fat cells to your white blood cells and so on. And I've experienced some of these benefits, actually a lot of these benefits, while taking cold showers, which is why I never take hot showers since I started taking cold showers. Except for, I took 2 hot showers, except at this fancy Airbnb, but over the past 3 years, I've taken all cold showers besides those 2. And I wanted to see, with ice baths, can I get a higher benefit in all these things by obviously being in much colder water with actual ice. And the second reason is it scares me. I have hated the cold my entire life. I grew up in Chicago, which had some pretty brutal winters, and I also lived in Canada for a little bit, and I absolutely despise the cold. I actually moved out here to Texas to get away from the cold, even though California was pretty nice, and just my luck when I got here, it was a complete winter storm. But if there's one thing I've learned over the past few years, it's that you have to push yourself outside of your comfort zone. Some of the best things that have happened to me have come when I've done things that were really scary and uncomfortable. So with these ice baths, I know it's going to be painful. I've taken them. It's incredibly painful. It's scary. I dread them. But the more I do them, the more they stop scaring me and I grow as a person. So with all that being said, I'm going to let the tub run for a little bit, get a quick bite to eat, and then we're going to hop in and take an ice bath together. All right, guys, we got the ice in the tub and about to hop in. 2 things you guys will notice is, first of all, just how cold you feel in the bathroom with no clothes on before you even get in the ice bath. Obviously, right now I'm wearing shorts because I'm talking to you guys. It'd be kind of gay if I was like naked and you know what I mean. And then secondly, you have this incredible urge to pee, which I think is some sort of fear response from your body. Even though I was going skydiving last week, I felt like I needed to pee before I jumped out of the plane, but that could be just me. So, here we go. Another day. Ice. Ooh. Another $1. Ooh. All right, here we are, guys, feet in. And the first thing I do once I hop in here is set a 15-minute timer. 15 minutes is the recommended time to take an ice bath if you're a beginner, which I am. And I also don't recommend you guys jump in your whole body at once because it's likely that it's just going to be way too cold. You will need to hop out, which is what happened to me the first time I took one. So instead what I do is every time I take an ice bath, I either put in slightly more ice than the previous time or spend more of that 15 minutes being with my whole body being submerged and less with just my feet or my legs. If you guys are wondering what it feels like, physically it is incredibly cold. Comparing a cold shower to an ice bath is a night and day difference. It's like 1,000 needles like piercing your skin at once, and it is not a fun time. Your hairs are standing on edge, your heart's beating faster, it's pounding actually, and it's like that for about the first 3 minutes, and then the feeling subsides, and the only part of your body that kind of feels super cold is right where the water meets your leg, or whatever part of your body. So for me right now, that's my shin. In a minute, I'm gonna go in with all my legs and half my waist. So then the coldest part after 3 minutes would be my waist. So let's do it. Ooh. God. Ooh. Okay. Mentally though, I'll tell you guys, it actually does feel pretty nice because the only thing you can think of right now is how incredibly cold the water is. You know, throughout the day we have so many thoughts. Oh, what does this person think of me? Why hasn't this person texted me back? What am I gonna make for dinner? We're solving problems that don't even exist in our heads. So it's nice to be completely in the moment, to only think about like the amount of pain you're in right now and how your body's feeling. And right now, it's cold. So the mental part's nice. The physical part of actually being uncomfortable and freezing is not the best. Going back to the physical though, which I'm sure most of you guys are wondering, it is incredibly cold. For me, the hardest part is my fingers. These are the thinnest part of my body. I feel the chills right down to the bone. Surprisingly, or I'd say unsurprisingly, your 11th finger doesn't feel very cold at all. I read that your body will prioritize reproductive organs over anything else. So, you know, for ants, we're in the tundra and it was freezing cold. We still have to reproduce, so those are the last part of your body to freeze over. But they will rescend deeply back into your body. So this is now my 8th ice bath, and this is a challenge that has been very difficult for me. I mentioned I don't like the cold. And on top of that, sorry, I can't think right now, guys. All I can think about is how cold this water is. What was I gonna say? It's been the one that I dread the most. I really don't like doing this, and even like me, as someone just doing this, working my way up after 8 weeks to 50 pounds of ice, like people take ice baths with 100 pounds in sub-zero temperatures, and I'm already dying just from 50 pounds of ice. So it's not been an easy road for me. But there's a Stoic quote that I think about often that says something on the lines of, man cannot remake himself without suffering because he is both the marble and the sculptor. And when I'm doing these challenges that are pretty brutal, I remind myself that I'm doing this so I can become the best possible version of who I want to be, of myself. And it's not easy, but every time I push through a hard challenge, I become a little tougher, a little more resilient. I'm working closer to becoming the best version of myself. So all that being said, I'm going to go in now, full body, arms under, and I will catch up with you guys once I get out or once I take a shower after this and then get some clothes on and everything. All right, see you guys. All right, guys, finished up the ice bath, and this is probably the hardest part is after. You got a lot of these shivers. First of all, my whole body's red. It's numb, a little bit sensitive as well. I just took a cold shower right after, and I got a bit of a brain freeze. But the shivers are there. Pretty much we need just to get moving, get the blood flowing again. So I did some jumping jacks and some push-ups in a minute, just to stop myself from shivering so much. But yeah, this is the hardest part is after about 5-6 minutes, it'll subside, maybe a bit longer. I've gotten better at it the more I've done these. First few times I got out, it was very painful. But yeah, so I'm gonna do some jumping jacks and push-ups, get the blood going, change up, and I'll see you guys outside. All right guys, so ice bath complete. And if you're wondering, the shivers you experience after are known as after drop, and they're pretty normal. It's your body trying to warm up all that cool blood and get it flowing through you. Usually I do a few push-ups or jumping jacks mainly to kind of get everything back up and going. And of course, the more ice bath you take, the more your body will adapt and get back to normal faster. The first few it took me about 40 to 50 minutes to get my body back to normal, but nowadays it's dropped to about 15 to 20 minutes. You may also experience this hot shock where once you get out of the ice bath, and I take a cold shower right after, my fingers and arms feel incredibly hot for a few moments, then they go back to feeling cold and numb. And you might also get brain freezes, which have happened to me as well. But to summarize everything up, started this challenge, I noticed a few things. Firstly, that shock wave diminishes over time. Going from, oh my God, it's so cold, my body's cramping up, I can't breathe, to, okay, it's cold, but I'm fine, decreases. It was about 6 to 7 minutes when I started, and now it's cut down to about 2 minutes per body part. And as I mentioned before, my fingers are the hardest part. They get incredibly cold, but with time, it's become a lot easier. And then from a mental standpoint, they are the best thing in the world. This whole week I was stressing about so much stuff. The California DMV lost the paperwork I sent them. I dented my car. I've been stressing about 2 YouTube videos to upload this weekend. I have a random bill come up that was pretty expensive. I had some issue with my jaw being inflamed. Just a ton of stuff that was causing me a lot of stress. Even meditation couldn't take care of. I could almost feel like I had a solid wrinkle in my distant forehead because of how much stress I was carrying. But once I got in that ice bath, everything was euphoric. There was nothing in the world except where I was right now and just the amount of pain I was in. Even afterwards, you're in this very calm, blissful state where you can't think of anything except how you feel right there and then in the moment. The only kind of slight downside to this, I'd say, is usually Sundays after I take the ice bath, I feel a little bit drowsier throughout the day, which is kind of the opposite of cold showers where I'm a bit more energetic. From the benefit side, I have noticed without a doubt that I sleep like a baby on Sunday nights. I'm also more calm, and I definitely get this sort of almost like I can feel my mental health improving, that my brain is just a little bit happier than it was before I took this ice bath. However, everything else is kind of getting into the bro science category. Yes, I've gotten stronger in the gym in the past 2 months, but I'm also just rebuilding muscle I lost during the lockdowns. I have noticed that I've gotten better at MMA since I started, but also much because I'm going to practice consistently. And I haven't gotten any muscle soreness, but I usually don't. So I can't say exactly what everything else, but I can tell you that I definitely feel much better than if I was not to be taking ice baths. Also going off on a tangent, I did try the Wim Hof breathing method the first few ice baths I took, but I didn't really enjoy it. I thought it was a bit distracting and I couldn't feel any benefits from those breathing exercises. I honestly just prefer to put on Spotify, some rap music, and pretend I'm like a tough gangster that can handle these ice baths. And just really overall, the best thing to come out of this is knowing that I accomplished something that I was scared of and was incredibly difficult. Getting out of that ice bath when that 15-minute timer hits, I feel on top of the world. I just conquered that ice bath. There is nothing I can't do. The whole world is up for grabs. And that feeling stays with you for quite a long time. And that is my experience taking ice baths. I hope you guys did enjoy watching me suffer a bit. And if you take anything away from this video, know that conquering your fears, regardless of how, in any which way, is the best way to improve as a person. If you have any questions for me or want to know more about this whole thing, always drop that stuff off in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys next week.